Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mercy, and I guess I'm becoming officially lazy because I honestly don't know why I haven't recorded for a long time, but I have not done it for a very long time. I keep promising that I'm going to be a bit more regular like the way I used to be, but it's not happening. But then again, there's so much happening. There's so much happening right now. There's a heat wave today. Well, it's been there for the past 3 days. Hopefully today things start cooling down. And then, just small things here and there that are honestly becoming very annoying. Yeah, so I'm getting a bit, I don't know, lazy. But right now I was just talking to a friend about reality TV. I, as you might have kind of picked up from some of my comments, I am obsessed with reality TV. That's part of the reason why I'm being a bit lazy because there's just so much good stuff going on in reality TV right now that half the time I'm thinking my hair really does need to be retouched. But you know what? I have an appointment this weekend, so next week, my next video, I will have, yeah, it will be looking nicer. But I have been trying to get an appointment. My my friend is so busy that she's not been able to do it, but I really need to learn at least how to do the front. I've learned how to do my daughter's, but mine I tend to make it not very, yeah. Anyway, maybe when it locks properly I will be able to do it. Okay. Yeah, reality TV. So today we are going to talk about why is it reality TV is actually good for me. This is me. Yeah. I love reality TV. Nobody else, most of the people that I know seem to not like it. I like it for the same reason that I like ice cream. I just think it's not good for me, but I think it is just so good at the moment, that particular moment. It's just something that empties my brain. So when I watch, okay, I don't like all of them. And funny enough, I never follow one so much. Like one of my favorite ones is 90 Day Fiancé, which I watch for the simple reason that I'm still baffled by the fact that somebody decides that he or she is going to marry outside their country, right? You're going to look for somebody from outside your country, which means that's a different culture, whether you're the same race or not, because I think that's the other thing. They kind of tend to think, well, if, for example, they're marrying a European, they think if it's a Caucasian in the US marrying a European, then they think, well, you're white like me. Now, not exactly how it works because people have different things. So then they come and they have all these expectations of, hey, why are you not speaking English? And you're like, because the person is from a country that does not speak English as their first, second, third, fourth. English does not exist in their context of everyday life. But anyway, so yeah, so I aside from that fact that this is somebody marrying somebody from a different culture and then expecting that somebody to totally understand them, the other thing that fascinates me is always how this other person from the other culture is trying to marry the American and acting as if I will marry you, but there's something fundamentally wrong with you. Like they seriously act like they are right, and you as the American, there's something wrong with you. Well, of course there's something wrong with them. That's why they couldn't find a woman in their neighborhood. But then even you, there's something wrong with you. That's why you couldn't find somebody in your neighborhood. So so there's just this competition of who is the worst. And then I love it because then it sends me to their Instagrams, and then I'm there following, because their Instagrams is usually in real time, and the season is usually a few months behind, right? So because of the NDAs, they can't really, until the tell all, they can't really portray whether they're in a relationship or not, so that we do not It's not a spoiler, but it's just usually fun trying to read in between, and you're like, okay, so this happened, did they survive? Anyway, so 90 Day Fiance has had so many different spin-offs. Before the 90 days, after the 90 days, happily ever after, single once again, all that nonsense. And I think it's just great. For me, it's great because it shows it actually taught me a lot about intercultural marriages, because when I first moved to Switzerland, that's the first thing that people kept saying, that, oh, if you get married to a white guy, it's never going to work because, well, you'll divorce. Like, you get married, it ends up in divorce. You never see old couples who are mixed marriages, which is not true, because the more I look, the more I see. I think when you're looking for something, you see it. And yeah, so I kept hearing that and hearing that and hearing that. And I feel like marriage will work or not depending on the two people. It is harder when you come from two different cultures, because then you kind of have to blend. But then it's harder when you come from two different anythings. I think this is part of the reason why long time ago marriages used to work, because people used to marry their first love, who is probably somebody they went to school with, they grew up in the same neighborhood. They're just, nobody used to go far. So the minute you start going far, like, moving from one neighborhood to another, you're marrying, let's say you're a guy who was born in a poverty-stricken family, got to university somehow, and now you meet this wonderful girl who was raised with 5 servants at her beck and call, does not even know how to make a bed, has never boiled an egg in her life, and you're supposed to marry this woman. Somehow, of course, you're going to clash. The things that are important to you are not important to her. Things that you take for granted are a big deal to her. It's just different, right? And so it doesn't really make much of a difference whether you are the same nationality or as long as you're different, it's just going to be a clash. So that's fun. So when I watch things like this, you watch it and you're like, oh, I'm having relationship problems, but God, mine are so much better than this fool's. It puts your problems in perspective. You're like, oh God, I cannot be this stupid. And sometimes, honestly, they have some arguments, and I'm like, oh God, that totally sounds like me. Okay, so next time I'm having an argument, I don't want to sound this stupid. I do not want to sound that ignorant. No, it helps. It helps me a bit. Okay, then things like the Housewives. Well, that's just me fantasizing, because honestly, I absolutely, I've always wanted, in my imagination, I am very rich in my imagination, right? So in my imagination, I am this woman who has more money than common sense, and I would love to have that, just money, which I don't care whether I throw it around or not. Now, what I've come to discover, which I hate, is all these spoilers that come in and start telling us how, you should not believe everything you watch on Housewives, because most of them are in debt. Sorry. Most of them are in debt because of all the stuff that they're spending money on and all that nonsense, and they're superficial. I don't want to know that. I want to believe that everybody there is rich. Everybody there owns those clothes. They're not renting them. They're just, yeah, I would love that, I totally would absolutely love it. At the moment, I'm watching the Real Housewives of Lagos. I don't know what the big deal is about this Dubai one, but anyway, I mean, I understand people's concern about it, but well, I think the best thing would be let it happen. For me, I feel like let it happen, and if there's something specific to condemn about it, then cancel it. But we are basically judging this series before it happens. So, okay, for those who don't understand what I'm talking about, Bravo the ones who do all these Real Housewives of everywhere, they want to do Real Housewives of UAE. Yeah, and um, people are against it because the UAE does not have very good record on homosexuality rights, homosexuality rights, and basically their human rights record is a bit sketchy, and people feel like glorifying how their rich women are living would be sending a bad message. I want to see how their rich women live. I really do. um, I want um, to kind of, I don't know, to kind of understand it a bit, just see how they would handle it. I want to see something different also because, they have another objection people had was the fact that they're Muslims and so they will be wearing veils and stuff like that, and people didn't like that. I kind of want to see that also because I'm all for the Beverly Hills and whatever wearing tiny little dresses and plastic surgery up to we don't even know what they look like originally. So I want to see the other side, somebody a bit more tame, The same way I'm actually enjoying the Real Housewives of Lagos for that specific reason. They have somehow managed to find a great balance between being very modern and still holding on to a bit of their culture, which I totally love. I think some of the scenes are quite stupid, but I really like the fact that they actually have it's something different. I don't feel like it's Africans trying to imitate Black Americans. I feel like it is Africans being Africans, which is something we totally lack. Like in the Young Famous thingy, to me, it felt like they were just Africans trying to imitate Black Americans and not the good side of Black Americans. They were trying to do the cliche Black Americans. That's what it felt like to me. But I mean, it was entertaining for a few minutes, but then, yeah, anyway, they could have done better. So I think that's what I like about the Lagos one. I find it a bit more authentic than I found there. But then, in their defense, they're all from the same place. The young, rich thingy, they were young, rich, African famous, whatever. It was, they were, it was like throwing so many different people in a pot and then just waiting for it to boil. To me, it did not really make sense. Why? Honestly, they should have taken maybe South Africans, just do one country. Because the truth is, in they were going with the cliche of Africa as a country, which to me is already offensive. These were people from different parts. Like, if you would have put the Nigerians in the Nigerian version and then you put, I would even rather you put them in, what is it called? Regionally, like West Africans, Central Africans, Southern Africans, Eastern Africans, like that. It would actually be easier because we kind of have this, well, there are celebrities who cross across the continent because it's hard to ignore Nigerian music. But then there are people like Diamond who are mostly known in East Africa. And, so there he's a huge celebrity. Then his celebrity kind of fades the farther from East you go, right? Mostly because he sings in one language and that one language is spoken in that part of Africa, right? So small things like this annoyed me, but it was still fun. You know why? Because then when I'm watching it, I'm thinking, God, these people are so stupid. I mean, it's just fun. It's fun to watch people who are rich, whether they're faking being rich or are actually rich, acting stupid. Because then you feel like, oh, okay, fine, I can't wait to have that money. If it doesn't come with common sense, what's the point of having it? But, then it makes you kind of feel a bit more important. Yeah. So basically, that's the only reason why I think that I love reality TV. It makes me feel intelligent, important, nice. It just makes me feel good. And I get lost in it. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's the only reason why I like reality TV. It's a good place to get lost in. The other things that I watch probably are like murder series and documentaries and things like that, which kind of tends to scare people because they're like, why? If you ever killed somebody, would you be caught? I highly doubt it, but well, never tried it, so I don't know. But I watch a lot of those, and so it's good sometimes to just watch reality TV. And the one thing that I've never watched actually is Big Brother. I never followed it, never liked it, never followed it. Um, yeah. Anyway, so that being said, I will see you guys the next time I feel like making a video.